Welcome to another video from Gradelink websites. In this video, we're going to address the question on how can you update announcements if you have an announcements section on your home page. This is typically a dynamic section. So first things first, we're going to take a look at this announcement section and determine where it's pulling it from. That's typically where you would want to start. Now, as this is loading in the Visual Builder, the first step, of course, being to load up the Visual Builder. Then we can say, okay, we've got two dynamic sections here. One is pulling from events. So if we click into the module settings for this area where the events are displaying, it's actually an events feed, so it's pulling from dynamic events, which if we look at the back end of the website is pulling from events. Now this announcement section, on the other hand, if we click into this settings, module settings, this is actually pulling from posts. So if you were to go to the back end of the website and go to posts, you will then see here's the post enrollment open to community. Now the way this works is it's set to display the most current announcements. We can actually check this box so it only displays announcements, and that way if you have other types of posts, then only those in the announcements, the most recent one, will show up in this box. So now that we've determined where they're pulling from, we can go in and update it and or change it. So there's a couple ways you can do it. If you want to have a historical log of your posts, then what you can do is simply click add new post. So click on post on the back end, add new post, and then put in your post title, put in some content, and if you need to close the content AI, you can by minimizing it with that little arrow. And then putting it in the category for announcement. Make sure you check that box, otherwise it won't show up. And you can also put in a featured image right there. So I'm going to use this Gradelink logo as a featured image temporarily. I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and then we can go ahead and refresh the home page to see the desired effect here. So you can see my test announcement post got published and it automatically replaced the old one. And then if you go back, you can see, okay, here is the first post, the second post, the most recent one, which I just published, is going to show up automatically on the home page. The other way you could do this, of course, is by hovering over the existing post and just updating the one there. So if you want to change this to say something else about enrollment or anything, you can simply do that. However, it may be easier to start from scratch because then you have to edit everything and you have to make sure that the URL gets updated. Whereas if you add a new post, if you put in a title, it'll automatically populate that title into the URL of the post, which is also important for SEO. So it might be easier just to click add new post, but you certainly are allowed to go ahead and edit an existing one if you no longer have any use for it. That's all there is to it. That's how you update the announcements section and dynamic events on the homepage. So we can see it's now back to normal. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to Gradelink website support.